What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Wrld podcast. Today I have a very special guest, Kieris Graves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First off, I want to start off. Is that
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
want to be
yeah.
known by as Kieris? Because I know I see the
mean-
Broley thing. So
Yeah, people can call me Broley, Cash Broley, it's whatever for real, for real. Yeah, you can call me Cash Broley.
and what Kieris does? Well, you can go ahead and tell them a little bit about what you do.
So what I do is, just digital artwork. I guess I do consider myself an artist. For the most part, people, usually hit me up, just asking just for design work, animation work, just stuff like that.
And do you do like website design and stuff like that too?
Yep. I do website designs. I'm not that, advanced on the website designs yet, so I do more basic stuff. But for the most part, I do a lot of website designs for people.
So I've noticed you've done like a lot of design work for people locally.
Yeah.
I Catch Everything, that's one of them, the Ice brand,
Yes,
Half
sir.
Happy. I saw recently the Moment of Clarity thing.
Yes, sir.
And what else? And I know you have your personal brand too, which...
Yeah, Don't Hate Wrld. So my personal brand is actually Don't Hate Wrld, but I've been kind of putting that in the back log for a little minute, just to get familiar with the design world. But for the most part, I do, do a lot of design work. I say from Moment of Clarity, Ice, so I Catch Everything, Half Happy. I have did some design work for some brands in New York.
That's dope.
That is called, I forgot what the name was for that. But then I did a Houston brand. It's called For the Luwaks, For the Low, but it's spelled L.
Oh, really? Because I've seen them on
Yeah.
Twitter, and I've seen some of their designs. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
top
yeah.
notch. I didn't know you worked with them.
Yeah. So I work with Goat Vic from time to time. And then another, a model, she hit me out probably in the past year. Her brand is called Lima Sadia Shakumbi or something like that. But for the most part, I just did animation work, and I did a little bit of just a little bit of website work for her as well.
So what's the, like working with the local people, because that's mostly what I know. What's that like? Do they just hit you up and say, hey, I need this, and then they give you the payment, and then do they let you have that creative freedom, or they kind of tell you what they want and then you work off of that?
So for the most part, what people usually do is they just reach out to me and they hit me up and just be like, hey, I do need some design work. I heard that you're pretty good at it. They'll give me the base as far as for the description that they want. Usually I ask for, what is the colors that you want to incorporate, the theme of the whole design piece. What is the theme of your brand, actually the name of your brand. And then as far as for what type of garment that you're going to put it on, the hoodie, t-shirt, or you just going to throw it on websites, such and so forth. And then, they usually send me a deposit. Well, they do send me a deposit. And then,
well, I seen on your Snapchat story, I think, that some people was like maybe trying not to pay. Or
So it was one point in time where I did, but that was on me because I was just getting started. And I didn't feel like that my designs were, up to par as far as for just, asking for a certain amount of money. I didn't really know how to,
I feel like that's kind of a weird thing too. It's like, even for me, I feel like it's weird to ask.
Yeah.
It's to think if it's $1,000 design, it's to say that you're worth $1,000, which is true. You might be, but it is, especially with people it's such an iffy thing to be like, I need 1,000.
So it was this one time where with Goat Vic, he did actually pay me, just a decent amount of money for just a t-shirt design. I want to say it was probably like $200-300, but still though, it was just like, I didn't realize that, my designs was worth that much until, after he paid me that, and then,
After that, you got to start raising the price.
I got to start raising my prices up because you start to, you don't feel yourself, but you start to look at yourself differently.
Right.
Like, I'm capable of this, and I'm capable of getting this amount of money, so I should start, asking for more.
Right.
So,
So do you find that hard to do, to send that text or email or whatever and say, hey, this is what I charge, or do you just have a standard rate?
So I do have a standard rate now, and it's usually like $50 for a graphic design animation. Usually it's about like 80 to 100, depending on how complicated it is. But usually, if I have been working with you for a while, I won't, ask for a deposit. But if you're just a new customer, then
Right.
you do ask for a deposit.
So do you feel kind of betrayed if you work with somebody and you've been doing their designs for a while and they kind of move on, not move on, but work with somebody else? You know, if you've done 4 or 5 designs for somebody and then they go and get that 6th design from somebody else, do you feel kind of betrayed? It's like, I'm supposed to be your designer.
Nah, I mean it's all a part of the game, really. I mean,
Right.
I gotta
That's my favorite saying.
if they do that, then that means I'm not gonna take it to heart. I'm just gonna be like, okay,
Right.
I gotta get better. I gotta incorporate some more designs. I gotta break more boundaries. That's usually when that first happened, I didn't get like it was just a good point at one point in time where I was just getting a lot of calls or a lot of texts, hey, I want this, and this,
Right.
like, and I was getting a lot of money. But then it's just stopped, and I was like, okay, let me break a boundary. So instead of just doing 2D work on the computer, I went to animation. So that's just 3D work, just working with Blender, Cinema 4D. I'm trying to make games now, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
so,
dope. I've seen some of that stuff, and that's dope. But
Yeah.
like when you work with the people for the brand, do you actually work with them getting their products out, or are you strictly just here's your design and they can go put it on the T-shirt or whatever, or do you kind of look at the design and say, okay, it needs to go like this portion of the T-shirt, and
Yeah.
kind of, or do you even do mock-ups of the T-shirts for them, or is that kind of something the people ordering have to do themselves?
Yeah, so for the most part, I do a lot of, I guess, just the full design work as far as from, a lot of people come to me and just be like, hey, I have a design, or I think, I have a decent brand name that I want
Right.
to bring to life, and, that's just pretty much all they know. For the most part, just take the reins. From there, they do give me pretty much a lot of the creative control.
Right.
Then I just make the mock-ups, get their vendors together, or what else I do? I even let them know as far as for, hey, I don't think that would be a good,
Right.
design, or hey, I think, that could just be a front design. You can split that design up into 2 pieces, and, just to make more money out of
Right.
just one design too, as
So,
well.
out of curiosity, if I wanted a T-shirt design, do you do the whatever your standard rate is? Do you do it for the front and the back design? So, say it's $100. Do you do the $100 for the front, $100 for the back, or is even if you've not crossed that
So,
path yet? But
as far as for those designs, I do like, I start doing deals, and it depend on, if it is a complicated design. So usually people go, if they want a front and a back design, it usually is just a couple words just like this,
Right.
and then just a graphic design on the back. So it's just like simple. For the most part, I charge, let's say, like 25, depending on how complicated the front text design gets. And then as far as for the design on the back, that usually just be like $35 to $50, depending on how complicated that gets.
yeah, so with your brand, Don't Hate World, correct?
Yeah.
I have the T-shirt. I love the T-shirt.
Appreciate it.
What do you think is the most important factor? Is it those designs, or is it kind of the quality of?
So I feel like it's more so the quality. I always believe quality over quantity.
Right.
You don't really want to, just push out a lot of bad T-shirts. That's why I've just been taking a back road on everything, and just look at how my designs is and how could they get better, and then just drop. And as far as for that, I think I am ready to drop soon. But yeah, I do just appreciate quality over anything.
Right. Because that's one thing I noticed is you have that one T-shirt, which I don't remember how long ago it was. It feels like forever. But I know when I got that, I was like,
Yeah.
I was super excited. I'm like, I've never seen a T-shirt like this ever.
I appreciate that.
So I am waiting on the next one, but I understand that it is
Yeah.
kind of a quality thing. So do you have any graphics ready for that, or are you
Yeah,
just still
so-
kind of testing things out?
I got a lot of. It's crazy because I feel like that that it does hinder my process a lot. I do try to be a perfectionist, but at the same time, that does prevent me from dropping a lot of T-shirts. I do have over probably like 20 to 50 designs that,
Wow.
you know, I haven't touched.
Just for
you
your
know.
brand too,
Yeah,
right?
just for my brand, I'll make, you know, I just, hey, you know, I think of a crazy design one day and I just make it and I just put it up because I feel like that it's not as good. The first t-shirt that I did drop, I believe I call it the Rage tee and just the Don't Hate Wrld hoodie. But for the most part, I hated that design.
Really?
I sat on it for about like 6 months to a year before I even dropped it. And for the most part, I just said, forget it, you know, I might as well just go ahead and drop and just see, you know, what happens, you know. I didn't put no money into it and I came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, and like personally, I love the design all around. The only, I guess, critique, which my opinion doesn't matter at all,
No.
but was just like, if I'm going around my nieces and nephew, you know, I'm sure you've probably heard it before.
No, yeah.
You know, I don't want a guy with a gun,
Yeah.
but other than that, if I'm wearing it out, that's the t-shirt I'm putting on. And the back design, it makes you not want to put a jacket on. You know what I mean? Because like that's the one you got to show. For the pictures, I want to turn around. I want to see the back. So the back was definitely my favorite part about that. But yeah, I mean, that was the only critique and that was like fishing for critiques, you know,
No,
that I could think of.
I understand that, and that's the main reason too why I sat back and, you know, just reevaluated my designs as a whole, because I did want, you know, versatility in my designs. I didn't want, you know, just someone to feel like they could wear it at a certain place,
Right.
or, you know, just when they're going out somewhere, I want them to just throw on the tee and just feel, you know, good and just comfortable in it. So that's why, you know, I just, you know, just sat back and just thought about, you know, I guess the theme and the overall
Right.
feel of my designs.
So how do you, like, what's your creative process for coming up with designs for your brand? Because those are all off of your head and they're not inspired from somebody else's or their
Yeah.
brand name. So, like, do you just throw some things into an editing software and just kind of play with it and edit it a little bit, or do you write it down? Like, what's that creative process like?
So for the most part, I do try to write down now. My creative process is terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it's probably the worst that you could ever, you know, have. I'll just sit, you know, and I just think of a crazy concept. So let's say, you know, I'm thinking of, you know, let's say a statue with a penguin. You know, it may be just a bland design there, but then I want to spice it up and just be like, you know, Ice World. Let's say I'm making the design for ice. I do a penguin with a hat. You know, he have some ice cubes laying around or something like that. For the most part, it'd be Ice World or, you know, life's code or some
Right.
incorporating his theme with you know, just the design. And then for the most part, I just take from there. I look up on Google, just a whole bunch of, I guess, images.
Right.
You know, or I do contract some people. I do pay them just to make artwork for me for the most part. I get all that art back, then I just edit on my software, just, you know, until I feel like that is good. But, you know, it's a lot of designs that I have, you know, just thrown away.
So do you actually throw them away, or
Yeah, I do.
Do you keep them
No.
and it's like maybe one day, or like sit back and think on it a little bit, or is it just
So-
like straight to the trash can?
So I feel like I do, I will, like I say, if I do like an asset in the design, so if I design, you know, a t-shirt and, you know, I like the skull on my hoodie, you know,
Right.
I'll put that aside and just, you know, put it in one of my folders and label it, you know, assets, and then just throw the rest of the design away. But for the most part, yeah, I do throw away most of the designs because I
Really?
don't like looking at them. It hurts me.
So have you ever went back and been like, dang, I wish I wouldn't have deleted that one?
Yeah. It's been a couple, I'll say, that I did let go that I felt like, dang, I could have turned that into a, you know, nice little T-shirt or something like that.
So do you get that randomly, like a random pop up in your mind where it's like, dang, I could have used that, or is it like you're working on a design for somebody else or your brand saying, be like, oh, this part would have fit perfect for this. So say like the skull, it was some skull brand, and you're like, damn, I wish I had that skull.
Yeah, so it's a lot of designs that I actually make for people that I'd be like, damn, like, you know, like I shouldn't have gave that to him. I should have kept that for me. You know, it's a lot of designs that, you know, But I mean, like I said, it's all a part of the game. You know, I feel like, you know, all right, that's in my bag. You know, I just get better later on, and then, you know, for the most part, you know, I can make something way better than that. I feel like every time I
Right.
make something.
So do you keep that inspiration in your mind when you're working on your designs for something you've worked for somebody else? So say you did that skull again. Do you're making a design for yourself now? Do you say, okay, let's use that skull kind of, but let's switch it up a bit? Or do you want to just kind of stay far away from that, just so people don't get upset and feel like you're maybe using their designs that they paid for?
So, like, yeah, it's been a time where, you know, a different, like, let's say, you know, two brands have kind of asked for the same design. Usually what I do is I'll, you know, if I did make something like that, you know, in the past and I don't want to recreate it in my mind, I'll either, you know, just try to, I guess, incorporate a different tone or a theme. Because you can have, let's say you can watch the same movie. You can watch the same movie, but if it's made by different directors, it'll
Right.
be like a totally different movie.
Right.
You feel me? So, like, let's say you're watching, perfect example for Batman. You know, if you're watching all different Batmans, you know, you'll see that it's, you know, it's a different tone each
Right.
Batman. So,
Which that's a really a good example because I loved all the other Batmans and this recent Batman I really didn't like that much.
Yeah.
But like my stepdad, he's like, I love that movie. He's like, it relates back to the comics perfectly and stuff like that. So I mean that makes sense. Is
Yeah.
some stuff hits for some people, some stuff hits for other people. and you
So what you do is just, you know, just change up the themes, and then for the most part, you know, as long as, because I don't try to, if a person does come with me with a design or, you know, or just a T-shirt idea, I
Right.
won't try to, you know, manipulate the design to make it, you know, fit my needs as far as for, ooh, that does look good. I would try to make it, you know, if you came to me with design, I would try to make it, you know, come to life, you know, that's in your head to the best of my ability.
So do you ever have a moment where someone wants something and you do it for them? You're like, I don't really like this, but they're like, that's exactly what I want. You know, like you don't like the design, but it's like that's what they asked for, and so you deliver it like that, or is that not really happened yet? Because I'm sure it will.
Nah, so my friend Kobe, Ice Kobe, the, you know, his ice brand.
Yeah.
You know, I do. I guess, you know, he does. We like real close. So,
Right.
you know, he does come to me a lot, and, you know, just be real with me. You know, is this a good design? You know, is this, you know, BS? And I'd be like, yes. You know, nah, we gonna change that up. You know, we gonna get it together. We can take, let's say, with this recent design. This may not be the exact story, but let's say I had the design that I just dropped for ice is a snake. Or a boot stepping on a snake egg, and it's a snake coming around and it says, I catch everything. Now, let's say he came to me at first and was like, you know, I just want a snake that is, you know, getting stepped on by a boot and, you know, is just looking at it all crazy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you know, I can work with that, but that's not, you know, we can add a little bit more to that. I feel like, you know, as far as for designs, it does need to take up, you know, if it's simple, then make it simple. But if it's not, then, you know, it needs to take up at least a decent amount of the white space. And then for the most part,
Is that for the whole T-shirt, or is that just for the design aspect?
so for the T-shirt, I like, you know, this is my personal opinion. I don't like, you know, just little designs. That's why I try to find different vendors that can print everywhere on the T-shirt.
Because some people like they only do the
Yeah,
like in the square.
This
here or
yeah,
something.
this square box right here. But I got a lot of vendors that does all over
Right.
prints, and then they can. Let's say I do have this hoodie, they'll be able to. A lot of people won't be able to do this, but they'll be able to print over top of the pocket.
Yeah.
So it'll just be a full, you know, hoodie print, and then for the most part, you know, I just like to incorporate that, you know, thought process into my designs, and then just for the most part fill up the whole canvas.
Yeah, because that's what I think makes people interested and want to buy something, is that uniqueness. And like you said, not a lot of people can do that over the pocket and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But for your brand, did you, just to go back a little bit, when you were selling your T-shirts, I know you said you didn't put anything up. So was that all print on demand, or is that
Yeah.
kind of a pre-order style, or from a business aspect?
So, free game. You know, I did use Printify for my first couple T-shirts, my first, I guess, 2 drops. Well, actually, all of my drops.
So I've never worked with them. Just quick, do they have that restriction,
No,
or
so
they're free?
So you can go through the different vendors when you go and I guess select the T-shirts. They will have different vendors on I guess the page for just one T-shirt. So you can click one T-shirt and have 10 different vendors for that. Gives you you know the shipping time. It gives you the just the quality ratings and stuff like that. But for the most part, what you would do is just choose the different vendor, and then it'll show you how big that you can print.
So I saw on your Snapchat story that when you were first doing your T-shirts, I saw a video of you like putting them in the washer and you're like, I'm quality testing these.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how many times did you have to go through that, if any extra?
So you got to put in the legwork too, as well, as far as for when you do select those T-shirts. I did, I guess, wash those probably, I want to say like 3 to 4 times, just to see, you know, is this the type of T-shirt, you know, that you can, you know, wash one time and it'll still be good, or you can wash one time and it'll just be terrible.
Is that in
starts to
terms
peel.
of like the print or like shrinking or
Yeah,
stuff
so it
like
shrinks as well. I do look for shrinks. I do look for just the peel on the fabric as well. But then it's, sometimes I do like a T-shirt that once you do wash it, it does get that vintage feel to it.
Yeah.
So it depends on from design to design. It depends on, you know, how I want my T-shirt to feel. That's why I haven't, you know, dropped in a while, because I don't really like their quality to a certain extent.
that? Okay. Did you order any other samples for that T-shirt?
Yeah.
Or that didn't work?
Yeah, so I ordered a lot of samples. I ordered probably like, I want to say 5
Wow.
different samples, and it was, I want to say 3 or 4 was from Printify, and then the rest was from Printful. So
Because I know when we did our fitness brand, we ordered some leggings, and they were overseas, and we got them, and they were completely see-through, and it took forever for them to get there, and I was so excited, and I got super disappointed. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't put this out.
see,
So
and that's another thing too that I did learn as well, as far as for you know, when you do ship overseas, just make sure you do hit them and let them know that you would like air travel instead of boat travel.
yeah,
too.
because that takes forever.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes a month. Yeah, it takes a month or two. That's why. Yeah.
But when we got it in, I think it took 2 months.
Yeah.
When we got it in, I'm like opening the package. I'm super excited. And then my girlfriend puts it on. See through.
Can't
And
sell
it's
that.
like you got to re-go through the entire process. So for your brand, I know that you don't have like the tag in the back, the Don't Hate World tag. Is that something you're not really too privy to, I guess is the right word? Or
So yeah, and that's another reason too why I haven't dropped in a while. I do want, you know, just like, you know, I guess my next tee to be like my perfect tee,
Right.
with the, you know, tag on it, as far as for just a crazy Don't Hate World design on there. It doesn't really have to be, you know, the regular tags that you do see, as far as for, you know, just a regular logo with a
Like the
large
print?
Yeah, it could be. It's just like a regular design. So like, you know, hey, this is a large. Basically, it'll be on the tag, or just something crazy. You know.
don't be giving out gems, because I like that. All right, hey, this is a large.
Yeah. So you know, just something like that.
That's
yeah.
unique too, and
Yeah.
it grabs people's attention too. But so do you like the print better than the hang tags?
No,
or?
so I love the hang tags,
Yeah.
because I feel like, you know, that is just a vintage feel. Even though, you know, some people do rip them off, you know, I think once you do get a T-shirt that you will just look at it and be like, well, damn, you know, that's a nice, you know, tag. You know, like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, it makes you laugh a little bit. You're not gonna want to rip it off, you know.
Right.
So just to make the T-shirt buying process and the whole experience, just, you know, a complete experience, I would like to incorporate the hang tags.
Do you have a logo for the Don't Hate World? Because I know you have like the unique designs and stuff like that, but do you have like a set logo for something?
See, so no,
or is that
and that's,
something that you're kind of struggling with?
yeah,
or?
and that's I do have a lot of flaws, and that's one of them. I don't have a set logo.
I mean, I don't think you need one,
Yeah,
but
and that's
it's just that's kind of what I was going through my mind with the tag. Is like just put your logo there or
Yeah.
whatever. But I guess if you're doing the hey, it's a large kind of deal. That's
See, and
unique in itself.
I like that idea, but I really won't. I thought about just not having a logo at first and just just be just a strictly graphic brand. But I do like how Supreme or Vlone has that.
Right.
I guess just the Vlone has V or Supreme has just the red box logo that
Right.
everybody knows. So I want that staple.
Because that kind of brands it
Yeah.
more than just being like, oh, let's print this on a T-shirt. Even if it is a really good design, it really establishes the brand.
Especially just like Half Happy, you see Half Happy everywhere. You kind of notice the face with the smile and the eyes
Right.
and stuff like that. I love that logo. That is actually I feel like one of the best staple logos in Louisville right now. It just it catches your eye and everyone knows it.
So how does that feel? Like when you just walk around, you just see people in the half happy, and it's like it's not your brand, but stuff that you designed. Like how does that feel?
It feels really good. I mean, I like to be just a part of, just the brand for the most part. I don't want to take the front end and just be like, hey, I do design,
Right.
These designs, because for the most part, like I said, a lot of people just come to me with the beautiful idea, beautiful designs. They'll hit me up and just be like, "Hey, I need this to brought to life," and that's literally just what I do. Is just bring it to life. I feel like I'm Dr. Frankenstein.
Well, I see you. It's crazy because I see you post the designs that you do, and it's only like here and there.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I don't know what this. Sorry.
Nice.
And I feel like for me, I don't know what this entails about me, but I'd have to be like, yeah, I designed that. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like you're very much on the back burner, I guess you would say, and just kind of take that backlight. But it's like this is the man behind the brand, really.
I mean, for the most part, I'll start popping out soon. But for the most part, I like to be I like to get my hands dirty before anything else, because I feel like if you know the game a lot better and just understand it a lot better and just have, I guess, you consider yourself a vet or something like that,
Right.
then your product would be a lot more, I guess, natural and a lot better.
Because especially doing the design stuff, you get to see kind of what people are wanting for their design. So you get to take the inspiration, but then you get to see for them what's selling the best for them. So you can, like you said, get your hands dirty. So once you work that position, then you work your way up. So now you know what it feels like from top to bottom.
See, it's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
You kind of explain my master plan. But for the most part, yeah, that's exactly what I do. I mean, it's not using people. I just, for the most part, I guess I'm putting myself through school.
Right.
I even worked at a printing press before.
Really?
A printing press job is one on proper level. It's called Tees and Textiles, TNT Screen Print.
What was that like?
It was actually like real. That's actually what kind of jump started me to learn how to get vendors and what just the back end of everything as far as for the actual business side, because I did get real close with the manager, and then for the most part he just actually kind of just taught me a lot of just the screen printing process.
So is that what you were doing there?
I was actually making the T-shirts. I was putting them through the heating press. It was actually a screen printing, so it wasn't a DTG.
What's the difference there? I don't really know.
Screen print is with ink. Both was ink.
Where they do the
yeah,
the
that's
thing
the
you see on
squeegee.
TikTok?
Basically, yeah, it's the squeegee with like you can do like one to like 8 colors basically. So, but it's a lot expensive. With DTG, it's just you get a set design. So like, let's say I take a picture of you, it wouldn't look as good on screen print than it will look for DTG. DTG is like an actual like pixel by pixel, like.
So is that kind of what makes things look more cartoonish? Because sometimes I notice, like just seeing design sometimes, it's like when you put it on T-shirt, like it might look good in the software or whatever, but when you put it on T-shirt, it looks like, I don't know, it's just too cartoony. Because it's kind of hard to tell how it's going to turn out. So would that be maybe the issue there, is the screen print versus the DTG?
So for the most part, yes. If you look at a T-shirt, you can tell like what they do use and how like I said, like you said, the cartoony look. Usually that is more so on the screen printing side. It depends on how good the design is. If the design isn't rendered properly, so if it doesn't have 300 DPI or dots per image or inch or something like that, or just a good, high quality photo, then it'll come out looking all cartoony as well. So it's, multiple factors that does
Right.
decide, what the design does actually come out.
Because
look like.
with your T-shirt, which I'll pop it up on the screen, it's like very realistic, but it also has that cartoon aspect to it. It's such a unique space that I feel like I've not seen ever.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that. Thank you as far as the comment. I don't like I said I kind of critique myself too much on that T-shirt. Yeah, I do love the cartoony feel, but as far as for that, I did want to get away from just that whole just that certain look. Like you said, you can't really wear that everywhere. But as far as for just the overall design, I think that it'll be changed. It'll be a lot different
Yeah.
feel the next couple of drops.
I don't really know how to explain it. It's so weird to me, just the space that it's in, because I feel like I see T-shirts that are super like cartoon and then like the real images kind of thing. So like when you're doing your designs, do you take a real image and put it in there and whatever, cut the background or however that goes, or is it like an element on some software or something like that where it's like a clip art kind of deal?
So for the most part, I'll just if I do, let's say I'll take a tree. I did just do
Good example.
recently. I just did recently a design for Nutty Records or something like that. It's a record company locally, but for the most part, took a random tree.
Is this like a real image tree or is it
Yeah, it's
a
a
clip
real,
art?
it's a real actual
Okay.
image of a tree. And then for the most part, what I do is I'll put a lot of filters over top of it. I either give it some grain, that's just like the little dots that you see in the image, or I just give it, a couple adjustment layers, throw a couple of different colors on there just to switch up the tree. And then for the most part, I will just, like I said, put a couple more filters on there. So it's just a whole bunch. You'll see, and I'll send you the picture too as well. The original tree image and then the image
Really?
after I got done editing it. But for the most part, I just do a lot of editing and filter work, and it won't look the same at all.
That's crazy. So do you cut the background out of the tree? It's like, is this a tree picture you're taking? Is this like something somebody else is taking?
Yeah.
How is that? Like if someone says, hey, I want this tree, are you going outside and like, taking
So-
pictures saying, hey, you like this tree? You like this tree?
So yeah, I could do that. Sometimes I do. I find myself driving around and just taking random pictures
Really?
of just odd objects. I don't like perfect objects. I do like let's say what people would consider trash. I would like just an odd ripped up couch on the side of a street, or
Yeah, yeah.
just a sign that's been spray painted on or something like that. But I snap a picture of it. Or I can look up on Google a tree image, and then for the most part, I'll delete all the white space out of the background or delete the background. And for the most part, I'll just have the tree, so I can take a picture of this water bottle, delete the exact background, and then we'll literally just have this water bottle on my canvas at all, and on the computer.
So when you're taking the picture, do you use that picture? So like you said, driving around and you see the couch. Are you using that picture into your software, or are you just kind of using the creative idea for that?
So no, I'll actually use the exact picture.
Wow.
So I'll use the exact couch. If I wanted this water bottle, I'll use the exact water bottle. When you start to design and start to do art, I feel like, as far as from my opinion or personal experience, you start to look at objects differently. You'll start to be like, hey, I can use that, or hey, I can design that in something, or hey, that's a beautiful ass tree.
Right,
I can
right.
put that. I can put that in a 3D program and spin it around and just a crazy animation, just something
Right.
like that. Just a plethora of ideas that you could do.
Yeah, I think thinking about it now, I feel like it might be the details in it as well
Yeah.
that kind of make it that real image versus that clip art style, which I don't really know the word and I don't want to
No, that's
disrespect
exactly
anybody,
no.
but that's to me I can't comprehend the difference, but when I see it I can say, "Oh, that's like that clip art style, cartoonish style." And then it's like this is a real image, but like with yours, it's a real image, but you've never seen that guy before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, it's super unique and confusing at the same time.
I feel like when, just to separate that, or what you're talking about as far as for what separates, the clip art images and the detailed images, let's say, like I said, you're looking at a water bottle, you can just get the base outline, just the base, I guess what you want to call it, the base descriptors or basically just the base features of the water bottle.
Okay.
And let's say the top, the curves, just the certain curves in the bottom, etches at the bottom. You can just make that as a regular outline. You can consider that as a clip art image. It's just a regular outline, but you'll know that it's a water bottle just looking at the outline. But now, once you want to take it a step farther, then you can just add like I said, the ripples.
Does that kind of work into the 3D effect?
Yeah, so then and that's getting towards 3D effects.
And is that what you're kind of working towards now?
Yeah,
or
so
I've seen your stuff like with spinning logos and stuff. I'm like, I have no idea where you'd even begin to do that.
So I bump around a lot. I like the 3D program. It helps me a lot to just visualize what I do want to bring to life. And then sometimes if I do get bored enough, I did buy a 3D printer. And
You have one?
Yeah, I actually have one.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and for the most part, if I do make a design, any design that I make on the 3D program, I can import into my 3D printer and bring it to life. It takes a lot of, I guess you can say, little tedious work to, just make sure the levels is right or the axis is right. Just to,
So when that comes out, what is it? Is it like a plastic or that's what it is? It's plastic?
It's plastic. It's different types of, it's called filament. There's different types of, I guess you can call it plastic that you can get. The strongest plastic that you can get is PETG, I think. But for the most part, it's like microfiber, I guess you can call it.
Because I've seen them like on TikTok and stuff like that, people printing, and I don't even know what that material is. The whole design, creative design stuff that you do, it's very foreign to me, and I feel like it's foreign to a lot of people, and that's why we need you here to let people know just what the space is like. But I did have another question about the 3D. Let's use the Half Happy logo, for example. How long does that 3D spinning animation take to make?
So I say if I do have all the assets, it doesn't take that, long. I say it probably takes like, it probably takes like 2 to 3 hours.
Which is still a long time, really. Like
still a long time, but if I don't have the assets and I do have to make it ground up, it probably take me like, I'll say like a week.
And by assets, you mean just the logo and
so like
your designs? Because I was thinking too. Sorry, I just got another question about if you want to make a 3D logo for somebody else or animation, but it's not a design that you have actually made. Do you have them send you that file and then you work off of that, or do you have to recreate that logo in your program?
So sometimes, people will have the screenshot of the logo on their phone. Some people will come to me, they have like, previous digital artwork that they have bought, and they just be like, I want you to just, design this up or, just change it up or something like that. I ask for the file, sometimes they'll send me a PNG file. Sometimes they'll actually send me the actual design file that the actual artist did use. So it just varies
And
depending
you
on
just
what
work
they
off
have.
of that kind of.
Yeah.
Do you do any work on Fiverr or anything like that?
So yeah,
Or
I
Upwork?
tried to start posting my work on Fiverr, but they do have a lot of, I guess, scam
Do they?
people, just scam betas that'll just hit you up and just be like, hey, I want to do this deal with you or something like that, and just be like, whatever, man. So
Yeah, because for the Cloud Fitness logo, I drew it up on the paper. Like I had an idea what I wanted. I drew it up on paper, or sorry, my girlfriend. I had the idea. My girlfriend drew it on the paper, and then I kind of put it into some like free online software or something like that, just to kind of see how it looked. And then I went on Fiverr and I got someone to actually make the file. But I think it was only like $5. So, but I do see some people on there charging up 100 plus on there. So I didn't know if you were kind of wanting to work in that or were trying. But like you said, if there's a lot of scams, I don't know how
Yeah.
much I would go in that area.
personally, I don't know how to. I know how to buy from Fiverr because that's actually I didn't know how to design at first with that first I guess T-shirt that I dropped.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to someone on Fiverr to do that, but then I didn't like the original design, so then that's when I taught myself how to design.
He's like, fuck it, I'll do it
yeah,
myself.
I was just like, fuck it, like I can't. I'm not trying to pay $20-$30 just for somebody to keep
Every
messing it
design
up.
too.
Yeah, so I was just like, I might as well learn it, and I mean, it's crazy where I'm at right now, but
Yeah.
you know,
So I know on Fiverr they do, when we did ours, the person sent me back and I didn't like it, but the rules that person had was like 3 revisions. So
Yeah.
do you like call it a point with somebody and say,
so
this is it, like I can't
Yeah.
edit this no more?
there's been a couple people like they, I'll design, and then they'll be like, well, hey, can I, change this, and change that? I'll be like, okay, it's fine, I design it again, and then, they ask me again, well, hey, I don't like this color, can you do this, and that? And I'll be like, okay. I'll probably, after like the second or third, revision, then I'll be like, hey, are you going to send a couple extra dollars?
Yeah.
Or, because for the most part, I know a lot of people, especially in Louisville, they don't really, I guess, know a lot of people that design, and
Right.
or as far as they do reach out to Fiverr a lot, or just a lot of people don't design a lot, and if it's not designed,
And a
or
lot
if
of
they
people
do
don't design like the way that you do, to be honest.
and
like,
I don't want to say it like that, yeah.
But,
I was
that's
trying
what
to
it
beat
is,
around
you
the
know?
bush. But I mean, for the most part, a lot of people do have clipboard designs, like
Right.
how you said. They just do a lot of Google designs and just find a lot of free images and put them together. And I mean, that's fine. If you like that, then I mean, that's on you. But for the most part, I do like to switch it up. But yeah, that's the game.
I know I was looking for some designs on Fiverr one time, and like I was hitting the guy up, whatever, and he was just like, that's too many. Like I can't revise that anymore. And I think all I wanted to do was change the colors
Yeah.
of stuff. So does that kind of count as a
So-
revision to you? And is that like just a drop, change the color, or do you have to go through a whole process?
So changing colors, it's not that hard for me. As far as it doesn't take that much time. As long I usually ask in the beginning, do you like what colors do you need or what colors
Right.
do you want, just so I can get that out the way.
Yeah.
So I can all right, because it's when colors are weird, if you can have one design and if they want purple, yellow, red, and pink. Well, it might not look good in pink, but it'll look good in purple and red and stuff like that. So, you kind of got to change up the different elements in the design or something like, that's, usually what I do.
So you go off on your own, kinda, and say,
Yeah, yeah.
if someone says, "Hey, I want purple for this,"
Yeah.
and you say, "Oh, well, I like here's your purple, but I did it in pink as well. I think the pink looks better."
See, and that's usually what I do, and, especially if I have time, because usually I'm a lot, I do work, and I'm a lot, busy as far as for, a lot
To
of
sit
other,
around and do that
yeah,
for
yeah,
3
but,
hours.
But for the most part, I'll do the, the colors that they ask, but then, if I'm sitting back and I'll just start playing with the design, and I'll play with gradients, different colors, color schemes, complementing colors, adjacent colors, just different stuff like that. Then I'll look at it and be like, well, damn, that looks
Yeah.
a lot better, and then I'll send that to them just to see what they'll say. and then harden and be like, damn, that's cold.
Yeah.
This, and that. Can you send it to me and stuff like that? So that's usually how I do it.
Yeah, that's for me. I feel like that would be such a hard thing because it's hard to put your mind on the back burner. Like we were talking earlier about just doing what other people ask. It's like I feel like for me, I would be like, let's do that orange or let's do that blue instead.
Yes, and I mean it's hard when it's been plenty of times where I make a crazy ass design and it'll be really good, and then I'd be like, yeah, like you can throw it on this, you can throw it on a white tee, a black tee, I can even switch up the colors for you too, and this and that, and then I send it to them and they'd be like, well. I want this, like
that's
this.
hard, but that's not what I wanted. It's like, come on.
I'd be like, I kind of be hurt, but I'd be like, well, I mean, it's a lot easier on me because, I don't have to do much to make, what you want. But then, sometimes the designs be too basic or be too plain or
to really do anything.
And then
creative.
it'd be, and I like to, I guess like a barber, I like to take pride in my work, just to make sure that everything's lined up correctly, fades right and stuff like that. And shoot, for the most part, if the fade ain't right, then I'm going to keep going and add it until I feel like, it's right. And then, you're going to, eventually you're going to have to be like, well, shit, I ain't got no more money left. I ain't got no more hair left. I like it. So, I mean, I'm straight, and it's going to be good though. And it's going to be real, it's going to be probably the best design that you, done had. You feel me?
Yeah. Just seeing the design work that you've done is amazing to think that that's all coming from your designs and the work that you put in. Like we said, you're in the backlight, and those people, it's obviously their brand, and they pay for the design, but they're carrying that spotlight. But it's just nice to know you just sit back here, and it's like you're a little like the root thing where you're at the top, you're the tree, but you have all these roots coming off of you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of treat it like that. That's why I reach out to a lot of people if I don't hear from them in a while, or start to see, just certain designs, and I just be like, hey, that's a decent design. Let me, spice it up, or let me, do something better. Or, do you need me to make a, design for you? And just to be a part of it, just to be a part of the legacy, because, I do like to, like I said, just be a part of, brands and stuff like that. I actually enjoy making designs, and I haven't, like I said, I've only been actually learning graphic design on YouTube for 6 months to a year. So it's not been that long, but for the most part, the time that I have, just been, learning and, just in the game, I do learn a lot from the people I do work with.
So you don't go to school or anything, do you?
So I'm currently, I guess, taking the semester off. I am in cybersecurity right now. Yeah.
Because I saw you were posting about learning everything yourself, basically, like you said, the YouTube thing,
and that's the thing. I did go to, I say, my first year in college. I did go to art school. I was real interested in art and just learning, how to make art and stuff like that. But I felt like, I was kind of wasting my time. And then I left, and then I went back to school. And I went to graphic design school, but it didn't. It's real slow. It's real tedious. I'm learning graphic design, in school, but for the most part, what they was teaching me, at least I felt like what was gonna get me some money, and I said,
and that's the most important thing, really.
I said, forget it. Let me just, let me switch up my degree because I don't want to pay for something that I'm, not going to use. I just said, let me hop on YouTube for a couple of times, and for the most part, that's all I've been doing.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about it on the last podcast that I did about just doing business stuff for me. I know some points I'm like, well, I wonder if I'm lacking the knowledge. I'm like, I wonder if I would know that in school. Do you kind of feel the same way with the graphic design?
And there's been a lot of roadblocks that I do run into that, I don't, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know how to do. There's plenty of stuff that I don't know how to do in school. If I did stay in school, school would eventually taught me.
Right.
But, I guess I'm real impatient. But for the most part, I do, I guess it's a school called, not school, but this course is called Udemy. You can go on there and just, apply or buy courses on there. they'll teach you how to do certain stuff. Or like I said, if I do run into a roadblock that I felt like, damn, school would have been a great, tool, I just hop on YouTube. I mean, it's not too much to YouTube.
It's weird because sometimes I feel like I'll search something up on the internet and I can find the majority of the answers, but then there's like one thing I can't find.
That's all.
And I'll sit there in my head, I'm like, if I went to school right now, I could just go ask my professor or look it up in the book.
And that's the biggest, actually, and I never downplay school, because school is actually like probably one of the greatest tools there is, as far as for learning.
Right.
And as far as for just the whole environment of school, if I was doing this right now and still in graphic design school, I'd probably be a lot better off. I have a lot more tools as far as professors. I'll be able to go, speak to, I guess, different classmates and get their opinions.
Right, and also especially people in that area, they're going to be wanting to start their own brands and stuff like that. So that'll help you get those connections to where, you have 10 people in this college that want to do t-shirt designs and stuff like that, and you're the person that they know. Yeah,
and that's and that's what helped me too, as far as I'm glad that I did go out my first year to I guess to spend time in college. Well, not spend time, but actually go to college and stuff like that, because I did make a lot of connections. I did build a lot of friends and stuff like that, and they, of course, once they go back home, they're in Alabama, New York, Florida, Tennessee.
And now they're telling their friends, hey, I got this guy that can make this design for you.
And that's what happens a lot of times. And, especially, I don't, like to say it, but, just pull favors and just be like, hey, can I send you this T-shirt or send you this hoodie? Just take a picture for me. You don't have to pay for nothing. I just, all you got to do is just post a picture and stuff like that. In their head, they getting a free hoodie, and, they just, all they got to do is take a picture. In my head, that's, more, eyes, that's more.
It creates a bunch of brand awareness too. If someone looks up to this person or sees what they're doing, likes what they're doing, and they're wearing your clothes, it's like, oh, so if that's cool to them, why don't I get that too? Because now I'll be cool just like them.
I mean,
that's the business mindset too behind it. So I mean, you're really going into a bunch of different areas here, and you're masterminding them all. I feel like
people like to be a part of, I guess. People like to be a part of something. That's why I said I like to be a part of people's legacy. I like to be a part of, I like to provide values and stuff. People like to feel like they provide value, or, just to be a part of a group. And, if you do, I guess incorporate that into your brand, into your business mindset, as long as you have people that like, well, damn, shit, let me support, or let me be a part of it, or let me rock on this tee, stuff like that, then, you always going to have a money flow.
Yeah. And Kieris does the best job out of anybody, and I appreciate him for coming out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He does wonderful things. Wonderful things. His T-shirts are amazing. He says he's got more coming. We'll see. We'll see when they come. But he does tons of designs for everybody, like we just talked about. And once again, I appreciate you. This has been a good one, my man.
Yes, sir.